Why wouldn't you have basketball shooting in the games?
Well, okay, that's a great question. What's the physical? It's very highly, there's a lot of coordination, there's a lot of skill, there's a lot of practice that makes you a good basketball shooter. But across the field of, you look at people coming from different countries where they don't really play basketball or probably never been exposed to basketball, it would be incredibly unfair to them. If you're going to do something like that, well, let's go back to baseball throwing, the year we did baseball throwing. A throw is at least way more fundamental and foundational and functional because everybody at some point has taken an object and thrown it, except for Chris Spiller and Jason Khalifa. They obviously never threw anything. But basketball is so sport specific, or shooting a basketball, and so relegated to that, to a specific realm, a specific skill set. It would be largely unfair to the entire field, especially if you've never shot a basketball, especially if you've never shown interest in doing that. Think of the other things that we've introduced. Think of something wild that we've introduced. Bring something up.
Something that you have introduced?
That we have. That was off the wall.
I don't know if it was off the wall, but L-sits, there was the baseball throw.
Okay.
There was the hit sledgehammer out here.
L-sit, let's talk about the L-sit since you brought that one up. Everyone can do that. It doesn't take any skill. That does take skill, but it takes more strength and more adaptation. And everyone can do the L-sit, and everyone trains their core and trains movements like that in CrossFit. So even though that might have been the first time in an event they saw it, it wasn't too outside the spectrum of being able to have people perform at a high level who don't have much training or exposure in it. Sledge, that was kind of, swinging a sledge. Firefighters definitely had an advantage. But again, the skill in doing this versus the skill in being accurate from 15 feet away and shooting a basketball are vastly different. Even take when we introduced the paddleboard. I'll help you out on this one.
Oh, thank you.
The paddleboard in the games. Everyone could lay down on that thing and everyone could do this, right? Mm-hmm. Like some people were able to get up on their knees and show a little more skill and experience, like how they do it. The experienced paddleboarders do it. What have we not introduced similarly related to that paddleboard?
Surfing.
Yeah, that too. A stand-up paddleboard.
Oh.
So
but didn't they have the option?
No, they didn't have an option to stand up.
Okay.
The stand-up paddleboard would take more skill specific to that sport and to that, way more than asking people who've never been in the ocean or never been on a paddleboard to lay down on a paddleboard and just paddle.
Was that debated in the team?
No, not at all. I just was resolute in that decision and knew hey, we're not doing stand-up paddleboarding, we're doing prone paddleboarding. Because you could take someone from the Midwest who's never been to the ocean, who's never been on the water, let's say the open water, and take people from all over the world, put them on that thing, lay down, and use your arms, and make it happen.